Hi, I'm Marya.
And I'm Paul.
We're from 7 Stars Bar and Grill. Today we're going to introduce you to Coldcock American Herbal Flavored Whiskey. It's not a new product, but it's one of our very favorites. Us, personally, it's our favorite product.
Drink so much of it. It's really, really good stuff. Real quick, though, this stuff I found in Southern California. I found out about it. It was being served at a bar, one of our favorite bars in Huntington Beach, Johnny's Saloon. We found it there just through Instagram, and just seeing how popular it was, how cool it looked, I was sold on the marketing and really fell for it.
And that's where we first got to try it, and we loved it.
So good, so good.
So what is American Herbal Flavored Whiskey?
Coldcock, it's American bourbon blended with herbs including green tea, hibiscus, ginger, eucalyptus, and many more. The herbs take away the whiskey burn. You get that taste. It tastes like whiskey for sure, but you don't get that burn that goes with it. It's bottled in Florida, and the company is located in Southern California and San Diego. And a selling point for this for sure is that it's got the least amount of sugar of all the flavored whiskeys. It's still 35% ABV, and you're looking at 70 proof right there.
So that's what we found on the website, and by looking at the back of the bottle. The story I've been telling for years that I recall, and I don't know if this came from, I don't know if they've changed the story over the years. I don't know if it was an overzealous salesman who embellished the details, or if I just totally made it up. But what I recall is that it's Kentucky bourbon sent to Florida, cast with Jamaican herbs, and then sent back to San Diego to be bottled and distributed. So I don't know at which point one became the other. Another thing that the salesman had told us was that it has half the sugar of Fireball and a third of the sugar of Jägermeister.
And you're looking at Fireball, it's 25%. You're looking at 11 grams per ounce and a half. Jaeger, whopping 38%, or 16.5 grams per shot and a half, which is surprising to me because I used to drink a ton of Jaeger. And it's often when I offer this new to customers to give it a shot, the first thing they'll do is they'll compare it to Jaeger. I don't see it now. I've been drinking it for years, and I've never been able to drink Jaeger straight. Ugh.
And the sugar point, I'm sure you know this, but the hangovers you feel, a lot of the symptoms of a hangover is from the excess sugar. So their tagline is, it's herbal whiskey, and so that takes away the burn, but no hangover. Either way, Coldcock whiskey is all natural, it's gluten-free, and it's low in sugars and carbs. I tried to find out exactly how many sugars. I reached out to the company, did not get an answer, but we tried to do a little bit of research. Their tagline is, take your shot. We keep ours here in a chiller. We think it's best chilled, and we like it straight. It's definitely flavored.
Every time.
Delicious, right? I get the herbs from it. I don't get that burn. I don't need to chase it with anything, but it still tastes like whiskey. It still has that whiskey character. Again, as I mentioned before, I really don't like the overly sweet, overly flavored. Some of the other flavored whiskeys, all I get is whatever flavor it is, and I don't taste any of the whiskey behind it. So I like this because it still really tastes like whiskey. We also feature it in our Han Solo drink.
Our Han Solo, it's on our custom menu there. You get the shot of Coldcock whiskey, fresh orange slice on top of that, covered with ginger beer. Cock and bull ginger beer.
Because it's one cocky drink for one cocky dude.
One cocky dude. We've still got these things out here. These are back from the first Deadpool movie. They collaborated with Coldcock, and you could see the branding here on the tables. I've got some posters up on the wall. That's a good drink right there. That is called a sucker punch. And with that, you're getting Coldcock whiskey, a little dash of grenadine for color, and pineapple juice to sweeten it up.
You can always find Coldcock here. It's one of our favorites. Like I said, we keep it chilled. Their website's really cool to check out. The developer or the people who started the company were big on musicians, and they do a lot with music and backing bands and stuff. So it's a really cool website to check out.
Motorsports, just all kinds of good stuff. Really cool people.
So now a little more about us. Paul, tell us about how you came to know Star Wars.
Yes. So going back, it would be, I was a kid. Obviously, I was a little kid. A friend of mine down the street, Jerry, I never forget this kid's name. We fought once. It was amazing.
He's a brawler, not me.
He showed me hanging out, and little kid. I'm talking like I didn't see it in theaters. I was past that. I did catch Jedi in theaters, but Star Wars Episode 4, my introduction. I was probably 7 years old, and this kid down the street hanging out, playing with his action figures, his toys. I'm like, oh my god, these are cool. It's like, let's watch the movie. I saw, oh my god, Episode 4 over and over and over again on Betamax. And that's a whole another story in and of itself.
So
right
a
there.
little background for you youngins. Back when we were little kids, there were no VCRs. There were HBO and Showtime had come out in the late 70s, but it was really exclusive, and my family for sure didn't have it.
We didn't have it.
So a movie hit a theater, and then you had to wait years for it to hit prime time, maybe a Showtime preview weekend.
Years.
But when the VCRs came out in the early 80s is when we first got ours, and the family.
Yeah.
So back now it's like common, everyone gets to watch something over and over, but back then it was a big deal.
It wasn't happening. So I'm not talking about a VHS. I'm talking about Beta, the smaller ones. It's supposed to be better. That's a whole long story right there. But we watched that over and over and over again, and that led to my introduction to the action figures, and that's where my collection started. And fun fact, I still have all those figures from when I was a kid. So almost 40 years, almost 40 years later. Holy shit. Yeah, that's a lot of time. Marya, how about you? What
Yeah,
had you
so
get
my story's a little different. When A New Hope came out in 77, I was 2, so I did not see that one in the theaters. I have a vivid memory, like a clip of a memory of going to the drive-ins to see Empire Strikes Back, which would have come out in 1980. Yeah, 1980. My mom's 66 Oldsmobile. We would go get the big bag of yellow popcorn from Lucky's and sneak it into the drive-ins. And I don't remember much about the movie, but I remember going to see it that way. But when Return of the Jedi came out, we had a family friend. This sounds made up, but it was my godfather's brother was an artist on, at the time, it was Revenge of the Jedi. So he came to our house. He gave my brother a Revenge of the Jedi shirt, which, fun fact, was my wedding present to Paul. My family had held on to it, tucked it away somewhere, and I was able to give it to him. That was the original name, and so very few things were printed with it before they changed to Return of the Jedi. And what I also remember from his visit was he had prototypes of the Jabba the Hutt that they were working on. And back then, it wasn't going to necessarily be a slug. There were many different versions. And I was probably about 6 at the time, so I could be remembering things incorrectly, but I swear when Episode 1 came out, that one of those characters looked just like Jar Jar Binks. One of the prototypes for Jabba the Hutt, to me, looked just like Jar Jar Binks. So when the movie came out when I was 8, Return of the Jedi, for the very first time, my dad kept us home on a mental health day, and me and my brother and my dad all got to go see Return of the Jedi on opening day, even missing school for it. And then because of the family connection, it just was something I always knew about, and this is a point of contention with us, but the man who worked on that movie swears in a vault were 9 episodes, and so they were starting with 4 or 5, 6. They were going to go back to 1, 2, 3,
But
and then
if you're
finish with
any
7, 8,
kind
9.
if you're any kind of fan now, you know the story. Anyways,
So he says I did not win
I don't
just
want to
because
argue.
episode 7 got
I don't want to
announced.
argue with her here. I'll save it off camera.
So that's how we both got to know Star Wars. We'd love to hear your stories and how you found Star
Yeah,
Wars.
let us know.
What neat interactions you've had with it in the past in the comments.
Comments, let us know what's going on. If you like it, share it, because the chances are you've got plenty of friends that would love to see this, love to hear about us, love to check us out.
And speaking of Star Wars, 2 big events coming up. Tonight at 8 o'clock, Friday, October 18th. At 8 p.m., our tickets go on sale for our Episode 9 private viewing, which will be on Thursday, December 19th at 7 p.m. We have our own theater. We have a couple of party buses reserved. We'll be selling ticket. You can either buy a ticket just to the movie and meet us there, or you could buy a ticket for the party bus in the movie. And those tickets go on sale tonight.
9 o'clock movie?
9 p.m. movie.
The movie starts at 9. We're meeting here to pre-party at 7. Like she said, you can get tickets just for the movie, but we've got party buses also, and there's a whole bunch of other stuff involved with that. But
and the other big Star Wars thing coming up is November 13th, Wednesday, is our next Star Wars Trivia, which is put on, the show itself is built by the president of the South Bay Star Wars Fan Club, and so that'll be our next Star Wars Trivia event.
such a good time. It's definitely a full house. Come in, check us out, give us a call, hit us up online if you have any questions. We can fill you in more about it. But our Star Wars Trivia Night is always a killer.
Take your shot.